All right, I call this meeting to order. Let me read the script before we begin. Good evening, I'm Isidoro Nieto, President of the Weslaco ISD Board of Trustees. Please let the minutes reflect the notice that this board meeting has been posted online for at least 72 hours as permitted by the suspended portion of the Texas Opens Meeting Act as permitted by Governor Abbott. Although a quorum of trustees are not gathered in a central physical location, we do have a quorum of trustees in attendance at this meeting by video conference or telephone call. The board is meeting by the use of the platform of the Google Hangout, Meet, and telephone transmission, which allows two-way communication for members of the public during the public comments portion of the agenda. This meeting is being recorded and will be made available to the public in accordance with the law. As we would at any in-person meeting, members of the public who have followed the instructions on the meeting notice for registering to speak during the public comment portion of the agenda will be called at the telephone number they have provided. All other board meeting procedures will adhere to board adopted procedures to the extent practicable. Today is July 6, 2020, and it is 7:08. Now we'll call out the name of each trustee to determine if that person is present by telephone or video conference. Mr. Kennedy?
I am present.
Dr. Jaime Rodriguez?
Present.
Mr. Gonzalez? Mr. Andrew Gonzalez?
Present.
Okay. Dr. Richard Rivera?
Here.
Mr. Erasmo Lopez?
I'm here.
Mr. Coach Cuellar?
Here.
And myself, Mr. Nieto. Item number 3, opening prayer. Dr. Canales?
Board of Trustees, good evening. Our opening prayer will be led by Mr. Elias Trevino, our Assessment and Accountability Director. Mr. Trevino.
Thank you. Would you all be so kind and bow your heads? Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we come before your mighty throne of glory to honor and praise you for your goodness and your mercy. We thank you this day for the many blessings you have given us to include family, work, sustenance, and above all, health. Thank you for the opportunity to gather as one Weslaco ISD family where decisions are made that will be of great benefit to our entire community. I ask that you would always grant us wisdom and understanding in all that we do. We ask you that you would grant us wisdom and understanding as we face the coming days in the midst of this pandemic. Grant us courage to face the day of tomorrow. Grant us guidance in ensuring the well-being of all our students, staff, and families. Grant peace to our families who are suffering as a result of losing a loved one to this pandemic. Bring healing to all who continue to fight this virus. Continue to bless our board and our superintendent, whose hearts desire nothing less than to serve our community. We ask you all of these things in your precious name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Elias. Item 4, Pledge of Allegiance, our Texas Pledge. Dr. Canales.
Thank you, Dr. Canales. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now the Texas Pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one indivisible. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia. Item 5, awards and recognitions. Dr. Canales.
We have 3 this evening. We have our FFA students, our top parent volunteers, and we have the Mid-Valley Town Crier Reader Choice Awards. So Mr. Robledo.
Yes, good morning, board. Tonight we want to congratulate several of our high school FFA students who recently received recognition at the state level. And I believe we do have a slideshow. I'm going to go ahead and wait for that to come up here so we can show everybody the wonderful pictures of some of our students who are actually competing this week. I'll go ahead and start talking.
Give me one second. I'll pop it up as we're going to get started.
Okay, I want to get started. We'll start off with Weslaco High School FFA. We have Kylie Selman and Cooper Ford, who will receive the state FFA Lone Star degree distinction. This is the highest degree of membership the State FFA Association can award. Kylie and Cooper will be presented with this prestigious degree during the 92nd Texas FFA State Convention, tentatively scheduled via Zoom this week. So we're looking forward to that. And now, in order to receive the state Lone Star degree, Kylie and Cooper completed at least 4 semesters of agricultural science, maintained a supervised agricultural experience, that's an SAE program, demonstrated their leadership skills, and completed at least 25 hours of community service. Also, we would like to wish Lily Ford the best of luck as she competes at the state level in her soil stewardship speaking event, where she will be proudly representing the Weslaco FFA chapter during the 92nd Texas FFA State Convention. And once again, that is taking place this week via Zoom. On to the next one from Weslaco East FFA, Weslaco East High School FFA, Andrea Martinez. She will represent WISD at the 92nd Texas FFA Convention competition. Andrea will compete in the final round of the Spanish Creed public speaking competition as we get up our photos now so we can see those. And let's take a look at our photos here. That's Kylie Selman, Cooper Ford, and Lily Ford, who are competing at the FFA. Once again, Kylie and Cooper will be receiving their Lone Star degree, and Lily Ford will be competing in the soil stewardship speaking event. And Andrea Martinez will represent WISD at the 92nd convention. She will be competing in the Spanish Creed public speaking competition. And let's move on to the next one. Jackson Parker Galvan will also receive the state Lone Star FFA degree and will join Kylie and Cooper at the state convention. Parker also advanced to the finals for the Ford Leader Scholars Program, making him one of the top 24 competitors in the state of Texas. He also won State of Texas FFA Proficiency Award in Ag Sales based on his entrepreneurship, supervised agriculture experiences. He is one of 4 students to receive the Proficiency Award in the state of Texas. Congratulations to these students for representing Weslaco ISD at the state level. Up next, we would like to honor the parent volunteers from the Weslaco ISD Parent and Family Engagement Department. These parents are the top volunteers, giving our district over 3,000 hours of their time to assist our teachers, staff, and students. We'll start off with our top secondary parent volunteers, Brigida Olmeda from Weslaco East High School, who logged in 78 volunteer hours. Then we have Darlene Herrera from B. Garza Middle School with 151 volunteer hours. Then Seneda Olveda from B. Garza Middle School, 204 hours. Our top elementary parent volunteers are, and we have Sonia Flores from Sam Houston Elementary with 794 hours. Patricia Jimenez from Sam Houston Elementary with 834 hours. And then the photo right here in the middle, we have Maria Montoya from Margo Elementary with 954 hours. Thank you very much to our volunteer parents. Up next, we'd like to recognize some very special individuals who received awards in the Mid-Valley Town Crier newspaper, which holds a yearly contest to determine the reader's favorite people, places, and things. This year, Weslaco ISD won several Best of the Best awards. We'll start off with the 2020 Reader's Choice Award, and Best Middle School was awarded to Central Middle School. Best High School was given to Weslaco East High School, and that's the 2nd year in a row for the Wildcats. Best Principal, and that goes to, next slide, Desi Rodriguez from Cuellar Middle School. Best School Coach, and that is Josh Pedraza from Weslaco East High School. And the best school district in Weslaco goes to, of course, Weslaco ISD. These choices were decided by the readers of the Town Crier. And that concludes our awards and recognitions. Dr. Canales, back to you.
For the record, I'd like one of those microphones that Carlos has too.
Dr. Canales, you're muted. Dr. Canales. You're still muted, Dr. Canales.
Okay, what about there?
There you go. All right.
We hear
So
you
we're
now.
very proud of our students, our parents, and our campuses. And I too want a microphone like that, Mr. Kennedy. So that concludes the awards and recognitions, but great things continue to happen. We're just so very proud of everybody. We're one family making a difference for children, COVID or not. We're here to make a difference.
So again, great job by our students, and of course the sponsors and coaches that do a lot for our students, and of course the parent volunteers that had a lot of hours of volunteering at the different schools. Kudos to them. Great job. Is that at the end of the awards?
That concludes the awards and recognitions. Yes, sir.
All right. Next item, we have item 6, public comments. We have one person on public comments. Carlos will be calling in to log that person in. So let's just wait a minute or so. Are we ready? Are we ready, Carlos?
Go ahead.
All right.
Mr. Board, Mr.
Yes.
Board President, can you hear me?
Yes.
Members of the board, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Good evening, members of the board, Mr. Board President.
Hold on. Let me read the script first before you can start. Okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so used to public comments. Go ahead.
No problem. Pursuant to the Texas Open Meeting Act, the Board of Trustees may not deliberate on any comment made by a member of the public on a subject that is not included on the agenda posted with notice of this meeting. As per the Texas Attorney General, the scope of board discussion for a subject not part of the meeting agenda is limited to only a proposal by a board member to place a subject on future board agenda. Specific factual information of existing policy may be furnished in response to inquiries, but the board should not deliberate or decide regarding any subject that is not included on the agenda posted with notice of the meeting. Audience participation at a board meeting is limited to the portion of the meeting designated for that purpose. At all other times during a board meeting, the audience shall not enter into discussion or debate on matters being considered by the board unless recognized by the proceeding officer. No public comment. Presentation shall exceed 5 minutes. Any disruptive behavior by any speaker may result in a speaker's removal from the meeting. Please be mindful of using names or personal information, as there's no immunity from comments while participating in public comments. Will you please state your name and your address first?
Yes, of course, Mr. Board President. My name is Mr. Edward Mejia, as all of y'all know very well, and my address is here in Weslaco, 721 East Torito Street, 32 years.
Thank you, Edward. Edward, you will have 5 minutes.
Coach, do you want me to start the time?
Yes, Mr. Gonzalez, please keep the time.
Okay.
Do I begin, Mr. Board President?
Yes, sir. Mr. Edward, you may begin.
Okay. Members of the board, Mr. Honorable Board President, Superintendent Dr. Canales, I hope everyone is well and your families are in good spirits and in safe mode as we are all going through this horrific COVID-19 crisis that we're all living through currently. So I send you all blessings of hope, happiness, and health first and foremost. It's been a while since I have seen all y'all in person, of course, and it's due to the fact how, like, as I mentioned, this is different circumstances that we're all having to live through as a nation and as a community in our own different set of circumstances. And I know you all had a board workshop earlier and you all probably just concluded it, and I wasn't privileged to see it, but excuse me if I'm going to be repeating myself, but I just wanted to come in front of you all, to you all via the telephone conference to advise that whatever decisions that you all decided during the workshop, that you all express it in the ways that everyone in the community, us the constituents, are able to view it, whether it's on Facebook posting, because there's a lot of individuals that are not privileged to social media and that sort of thing. So whatever decisions that you put in the best interest of the kids of Weslaco ISD, I hope that, you know, you have their, of course, best interest at best. And whatever start date of school you all are choosing to start, I just hope that it's all with the mindful decisions, you know, of all scientific data that has been presented to you all, the board, by our superintendent, and those that you all have been enlisted and trusted to hear the information from. As I mentioned, I just hope that all information is sent out diligently, that we all have full accessibility as what the latest information is, and that all issues, all situations are mindful with the best interest of every single boy and girl of this district as to its very difficult times. And, you know, there's no telling who may be next to going through this horrible virus that we're all going through. And in conclusion, as I mentioned, I just want to make sure that every one of you, the board members, are safe and remain safe, and you do everything, you know, with the best interests of yourself and your family at heart. So I thank you all for giving me the time to come before you all, and hope that everyone is safe, and blessings to every single one of y'all. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Board President.
Thank you, Edward.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, Superintendent's report. Dr. Canales.
We do have one item for the superintendent's report, and that is on insurance. We presented on several things during the workshop. So let me move to present mode, if I can get it to pop up. And Mr. De La Rosa will lead us through the this portion. I believe it's the next one. Okay, is that the first slide, Mr. De La Rosa? Yes.
Yes, we only have one slide this month. Good evening again, Dr. Canales, Mr. Nieto, members of the board. This is the standard health insurance slide that is presented monthly. I'm going to approximate again medical claims. This data runs through June 30th, 2020, excuse me. So medical claims, we're at approximately $9.3 million for 2018-2019. For 2019-2020 this year, we're at $7.1 million in medical claims. It's a decrease of $2.2 million overall. Pharmacy drug costs last year at this time through June, they were $3.7 million versus this year, they're at $4.5 million. That's an increase of approximately $744,000. Our fixed costs, which includes our administrative fees, our stop loss premiums, last year at this time, they're at $2.5 million. This year, they're at $2.1 million, and that's a decrease of approximately $410,000. So right now, as it stands, last year at this time, we're at $15.6 million versus this year, we're at $13,753,973.33. That's a decrease of approximately $1.8 million or 14% decrease. So as Mr. Sanchez mentioned in his report, we looked for this coming year to more than likely have a reserve or a surplus in our health insurance fund, and that'll give us a good cushion going into the next fiscal year. And again, no increases to district or employee contributions for the health insurance for next year. The next slide is, or we usually also present the workers' compensation information. However, since July 4th was observed on a Friday, there is a little bit of lag in getting the reports, so I'll include those in the update.
Any questions by any of the board members? Nope.
All good. Looks good to me.
Okay. Dr. Rivera?
Looks good. Good job.
All right. Let's continue. Let's move on to item 8, consent agenda. Dr. Canales?
Board of Trustees,
What happened to Dr. Canales?
I think we lost her.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, as we wait for her, look at the consent agenda, and then I'll entertain a motion in a minute. Any items that we need to discuss, Mr. Kennedy?
No.
Nope.
Not for me.
Dr. Jaime?
No, sir, I'm good.
Okay. Mr. Gonzalez?
I'm good, Coach.
Okay. Dr. Rivera?
I'm good.
All right. Mr. Lopez? You're muted, Mr. Lopez.
Okay, here I am. Item Q.
Item B?
Q.
Q. Item Q. Okay.
As in, ¿qué pasa?
Okay. Coach Cuellar?
None. I'm okay.
And none for me. I'll entertain a motion this time.
Mr. Nieto,
Yes.
I'm sorry for the interruption, Mr. Patrick. I'm sorry, I was kicked out. So we did pull item J, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
So we pulled out item J out? Okay.
Yes, consent.
All right, so let me entertain a motion.
I'll look to approve the consent agenda with the exceptions of item J and Q.
Second.
So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Mr. Gonzalez to approve the consent agenda except for item Q and J. Any discussion?
Well, on item J, it was pulled by administration, so I don't
Right.
think there's discussion on that. So
Okay.
on item Q, I pulled that item only for information purposes to our public. I know we discussed the hot internet hotspots, but I would like either for Dr. Canales, for Carlos to come on and say a few words on what we're doing here.
Okay, Dr. Canales?
Okay, well, I'll begin, and then Mr. Martinez, you can chime in a minute. So this is a purchase for 700 hotspots with a 1-year subscription for students for remote, synchronous, and asynchronous instruction. We do have about 1,000 families, according to preliminary results from a survey, that do not have internet access or poor internet access for online learning at home. As mentioned earlier, Weslaco East High School and CT Early College High Schools, because of a grant a few years ago, do have hotspots. Mrs. Dyer of Weslaco East High School librarian secured 1,000 additional hotspots for district-wide use. So requesting 700 more so that our children can continue to learn at home remotely as needed.
Okay, and I would just like to thank administration and Dr. Canales and Carlos Martinez and everybody. And I know that we had a workshop earlier, and we also discussed looking at other alternatives and looking into the future and trying to find what's best for our students. So I want to thank you all for looking into that and what you all are doing now. Thank you so much. That's all I had on item Q.
Okay. So we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Mr. Gonzalez to approve the consent agenda. We discuss item Q. All in favor, please say aye whenever I call your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's go to,
I was going to say, I make a motion to approve item Q.
Second.
so we have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Mr. Gonzalez to approve item Q. All in favor, please say aye when I call your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Item number 9, discussion items. Item A, interim financial report for the 10 months ended June 30th, 2020. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, this is a no action item. Mr. Andres Sanchez will highlight some key points on this item. Mr. Sanchez.
Yes, Mr. Nieto, Dr. Canales, members of the board, for the 10 months ended June 30, 2020, in the general fund, out of $183,886,000 budgeted, we have received $159,277,000. That represents 86.62%. And from the expenditures, out of a budget of $191,085,000, we have encumbered or paid $140,390,000. That represents 73.47%. Right now, all the funds look good. The budget look good for this year to date. Any questions?
Andres, you have 2 months to go, and you're
Yes, sir.
at 73%.
Mhm.
Have you calculated what those 2 months will be as far as the percentage with your payroll and all the other expenses? What it will be at the end of August 31st?
Not quite, sir. We're looking at a couple of million surplus, but we need to figure out what is the local maintenance fund and what is the state funds, because it's all general fund includes state comp, special, all those other ones. Some of the money that's left over is not for the district, for fund balance, so we haven't finished calculating that part.
Okay.
But we do have several million dollars left.
It looks good with 2 months to go at 73%. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other comments? All right, next item, item B, acknowledgement of Hidalgo County Tax Office Collection Report for May 2020, current taxes and delinquent taxes. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, again, this item is a no action item. Mr. Andres Sanchez.
Yes, for the month of May 2020, for the 2019 tax levy, we collected so far through May 31, $23,512,221. That represents 93.22%. Last year at the same time in May, we collected 93.16%. So it's almost the same as last year, slightly higher. And on the prior year's levy, we have collected $607,070. That represents through May 31, 15.89%. Last year we collected 20.3%. So on that one we're short 4.41%. But both items look good today.
Okay. Any comments?
One comment, and you said on the budget workshop, did you anticipate a lower current and delinquent for the new year because of the COVID-19?
Yes, sir.
So you're not looking at 93 and 20% for the new year?
No, I had budgeted only 85 and 10.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments? Okay, let's go to Roman numeral 10, discussion and possible action items. Item A, discussion and possible action for the board to consider renewal of the district's fleet, liability and cargo, general liability, crime and law enforcement insurance, or to authorize administration to solicit proposals for the same. RFP number 190740. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, administration is recommending that you approve the renewal for Travels Public Entity Group as submitted by Shepherd Waldron King Insurance Group, SWK, for fleet insurance, liability and cargo, general liability, crime and law enforcement insurance. This will be a second renewal option. The district has the option to renew for 2 additional one-term years. This would be the second renewal option, and there is a breakdown of the coverage for your information, and Mr. De La Rosa is available to answer any questions you may have.
I move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera, a second by Mr. Kennedy.
Lopez.
Oh, Mr. Lopez.
Coach, I'm going to abstain from this item
Okay.
and letter C as well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. So we have a motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by Mr. Lopez to renew the district's fleet liability and cargo, general liability, crime and law enforcement insurance with Shepherd, Walton King. Any discussion? No discussion. All right, so let's call a vote. Mr. Kennedy, are you in favor?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Cortez is abstaining. Dr. Rivera?
Yes, aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's go to item B, next on the agenda. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider renewal of the district's agreement with TriStar Risk Management to administer the district's self-funded workers' compensation program for fiscal year 2020-2021, or to authorize administration to solicit proposals for the same, RFP number 190741. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we are recommending that you renew with TriStar Risk Management to administer the district's self-funded workers' compensation program for the fiscal year 2020-2021. TriStar Risk Management was selected to provide TPA services for 1 year with the option to renew for 2 additional 1-year terms. This would be a second-year renewal option. We do have Mr. De Rosa available if you have any questions about this item.
Move to approve?
I second.
Second.
So we have a motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by, who was the second?
Coach Cuellar?
Coach Cuellar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Coach Cuellar, to approve the renewal with TriStar Management to administer the district self-funded workers' compensation program. Any discussion?
I need a choice.
Any discussion? All right. All in favor, please say aye. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, let's go to item C. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider renewal of the district's workers' compensation excess insurance or authorize administrations to solicit proposals for the same. RFP number 190741. Dr. Canales.
Chicken.
Board of Trustees, we are recommending that you approve the renewal of the district's workers' compensation excess insurance with U.S. Specialty Group through Shepherd, Walton King Insurance Group. Last year, the district conducted an RFP process, and U.S. Specialty Group was selected with an option to renew for 2 additional 1-year terms. This is the second-year renewal option, and Mr. De La Rosa is available if you have any questions about this one.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Lopez and a second by Dr. Jaime.
Yes, sir.
Okay. To approve the renewal of the district's workers' compensation excess insurance with U.S. Specialty Group through Shepherd, Walton King Group. Any discussion? All right. All in favor, please say aye. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez, you're abstaining from this one, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item D, discussions and possible action for the board to consider renewal of specific and aggregate stop-loss insurance for the self-funded medical RX employee benefit plan, or to authorize administration to solicit proposals for the same. RFP number 190843. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, administration is recommending that you approve the renewal from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas through Jeff Everett and Associates for specific and aggregate stop-loss insurance for the district's self-funded employee benefits program. Last year, the district conducted an RFP for stop-loss insurance. BCBS was selected as having the best value to the district by including no lasers or aggregating deductibles. This is the second year of a 3-year renewal option.
Move to approve. Move to approve. Move to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by Coach Cuellar
Yes, sir.
to approve the renewal from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Texas through Jeff Everett and Associates for specific and aggregate stop loss insurance for the district self-funded employee benefit program. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving right along to item E. Discussion of possible action for the board to consider renewal of the district's property and casualty insurance, boiler and machinery, property and contents, inland, marine, and flood insurance, or to authorize administration to solicit proposals for the same. RFP number 180446. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, administration is recommending that you approve the renewal offer from AM Winds Brokerage through Montalvo Insurance for the district's property and casualty insurance package. This would be a 7-month option. It is the third renewal option as well. And it's 7-month option in order to prevent conducting an RFP during hurricane season. The broker was advised to obtain a renewal quote with a new effective date outside of the hurricane season. The renewal submitted again is for 7 months of coverage with a new effective date of April the 1st.
Move to approve.
I second.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera and a second by Coach Cuellar to renew the offer from Winds Brokerage through Montalvo Insurance for the district's property and casualty insurance package. Any discussion? All right, all in favor, Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez? Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item F, discussion of possible action for the board to consider approval of allowance expenditures for additional work needed at the Weslaco East High School new band hall, project CSP 180622. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, this item stemmed from the problems with the acoustics at the new Weslaco East High School band hall. The echo in the rehearsal halls was too much and not conducive to adequate music instruction and/or learning. Administration is recommending that you consider approving the allowance expenditure authorization number 7R for the addition of acoustical wall panels to the 3 rehearsal halls at the new band hall for Weslaco East High School project. The cost of the additional improvements is to be paid from the project's contingency allowances. Therefore, there is no additional cost to the project. The installation of the additional acoustical panels is expected to take approximately 8 weeks from the approval date. So we do have staff available if you have any questions about this item.
I move to approve the expenditure.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay. I have a motion by Mr. Kennedy, a second by Mr. Lopez to approve the allowance expenditure authorization number 7R for the addition of acoustical wall panels to the 3 rehearsal halls at the new band hall for the Weslaco East High School project. Any discussion? Good. All in favor, please say aye. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's continue on to item G. Discussion on possible action for the board to consider approval of the administration's recommendation for award of the restroom partitions replacement project at 3 schools, Mary Hogue Middle School, Beatriz G. Garza Middle School, and Airport Elementary, CSP number 2725. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, the facilities committee, at the recommendation of the district facilities committee, Weslaco ISD administration identified 3 schools that were in need of attention for their student restrooms. The team did project a total cost of $150,000 to $175,000. We did have 4 vendors submit bid packages. The administration is recommending R.E. Frederick's Company, DBA, REFCO, that you approve them. They were the highest ranking proposal and at a cost of $95,000. So about $55,000 to $80,000 less than our team had expected. So we are recommending the approval.
Move to approve.
I'll second that.
Who made the motion first?
Me, Coach. Dr.
Okay.
Hammond.
We have a motion by Dr. Jaime and a second by Mr. Lopez to approve the administration's ranking of the proposals received for the restroom partition project at 3 campuses. Mary Hope B. Garza Airport to R.E. Fredericks Company from Far, Texas. Any discussion?
Are they good references on this company, this firm?
Mr. Sanchez?
Or Mr. Riojas?
Yes, we did have good references, and also they've done quite a bit of work for us as well, Dr. Rivera.
This company's been around for a very, very long time, Mr. President. I'm familiar with it.
Okay, good.
Good.
All right, so we have a motion by Dr. Jaime, a second by Mr. Lopez. All in favor, please say aye when I call your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item H, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval for the construction of the Weslaco High School new field house project, number 180214, as follows. Number 1, a deductive change order for the unspent owner's contingency and weather and delayed dates to complete the project. And number 2, final completion of the project. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, it is our recommendation that you approve the deductive change order for the unspent project contingencies balance and weather and delay days to complete the project and the final completion of the project. After you approve it, if you should approve it, administration will pay the pending application for payment number 14. And after completion of the pending items, close out document review mentioned above, we will process the project's final application for payment number 15 for the project retainage. We do have staff available. I believe it's Mr. Riojas, who is here to answer any questions you may have.
Before we move forward, Dr. Canales and Ivan, is this item worded right? I believe there could be some issue because this is like asking for construction and this is like for final acceptance. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's related to that contract. So you're taking action under the contract. It appears for crediting the district with the unused portion of the contingency and then declaring a final completion. But I want to hear what the administration's position is with respect to the application for payment number 15. Are we at a point in time where that's ready to be paid out or not as part of the retainage?
Yes, Mr. Lopez, Mr. Perez, if the board approves this item, we will pay both 14 and 15. The rationale mentioned that we need to extend in the closing document. And as soon as we finish with the review, we're comfortable with the submitted for that, we'll release payment of 15 as well. That's what we explained.
But that'll come back to the board though, right, Andres?
No, that's what we're asking for approval now. No, but well, we're asking for approval. The final completion in.
Well, I can understand when you're declaring final completion for purposes of liquidated damages, you're not going to be counting any more days. But with respect to the final payment or the final pay app, I guess the question is: are there going to be any days owed to the district from the contractors?
No.
Whatever the contractor's asking for.
Not for this project, Mr. Pettis.
We mentioned the rationale that there's no delay days.
Not for this project. This project, if you recall, was delayed quite a bit by some unforeseen items that were just not expected. One was, remember, the underground water that we found. There was a major water source. We had to cap it. That took some time. Then also there was some time that delayed the project more due to the gas line. We had to also route the gas line, bring it in from Pike all the way up to the field house. So that took some time as well. So that was again unforeseen for the contractor. So in that case, we have no rain delays or any liquidated damages for this project.
So is this the final acceptance? Is this the final closing the project down?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes, on the last bullet at the bottom of the page, we mentioned it that the revised substantial completion date with the 19 days approved becomes April 18. The project was actually completed on April 15. So they got completed 3 days before. So there's no liquidated damages. So
it's appropriately worded.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm fine with it.
So who's going to motion? Let's make a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Gonzalez?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, a second by Mr. Lopez, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
To approve the construction of the Weslaco High School new field house project, the deductive change order for the unspent project contingencies, balance, and weather and delay days to complete the project, and the final completion of the project. Any other discussion? All in favor?
I'm not sure, whether we should word this a little differently. Ivan, you correct me if I'm wrong, but should it be like final acceptance or completion of the project so that we know what we're going on? I know that it's added on towards the bottom, but I feel it should be on the actual motion.
Yeah, so the motion would be to approve items 1 and 2,
right?
Which are the deductive change orders, and approve final completion of the project as recommended by the administration. So that's I think Mr. Nieto summarized it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like that.
Okay. And any other discussion? So we have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Lopez. All in favor, please say aye when I call your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's continue on to item I. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval to hire the services of an electrical engineering firm to assist the district as an independent engineer to oversee the design and installation of the LED lighting district-wide project. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, on December 9, 2019, you approved the following: to use the design-build method of construction for this project. You delegated the rank and authority to administration, and you approved the criteria and points to be used for the project. Under the design-build method of construction, the district will need to hire a design-build team that includes a contractor, engineers, and architects for LED lighting upgrades district-wide. The district will need the assistance of an engineer that will work independent from the design-build team for the oversight of the project. Administration is recommending Trinity MEP Engineering PLLC to assist the district with the procurement and oversight of the LED lighting district-wide project. The team's experience with Trinity MEP has been positive. So there is a flat.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera, correct?
Yes.
And a second by Mr. Kennedy to approve Trinity MEP Engineering PLLC to assist the district with the procurement and oversight at the LED lighting district-wide project. Any discussion? Any other discussion?
Yes, we've used them before, right?
Correct.
That is correct.
And in doing so, they'll provide the opportunity for local businesses or vendors to help with the necessities and whatever we may need, right?
Yes.
Coach, in this for this hire here, this approval, Trinity will help us oversee the project, sir. And so once we take action, we recommend a company to perform the project, that's when we can stipulate or ask to ensure that they use local representation for the project at that time. So right now, this gentleman is just gonna basically work with the district to help us oversee the project.
Thank you.
All right. Any other discussion? So we have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Mr. Kennedy, to approve Trinity MEP Engineering PLLC to assist the district with the procurement and oversight of the LED lighting district-wide project. All in favor, please call your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. We move along to item J. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of a procurement method of construction for the A.N. Tony Rico Foundation remediation project. Item 1, board determination of a procurement method of construction that will provide the best value to the district for the project. Board determination to retain the authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project, or board delegation of their authority to the administration to rank the proposals to be received, and approval of criteria and points to be used for ranking the proposals. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, we have identified foundation problems at Rico Elementary School. And as a result, we are recommending that you approve a procurement method of construction as a method that would provide the best value to the district for Rico Elementary School Foundation Remediation Project. Administration's recommending the competitive sealed proposal method of construction. We're asking you to make the determination to retain your authority to rank the proposals to be received for this project, or to delegate that to administration. And we're asking for you to approve the criteria and points to be used for the ranking of proposals. Just as a reminder, whenever the board delegates their authority to rank the proposals to administration, they may accept administration's ranking recommendation, or they may not. However, in the event that they do not accept the administration's ranking recommendation as presented at that time in the future, they cannot change it. The board would need to rank their proposals themselves at the same meeting or the next or later board meeting, which could include a board workshop. So we are recommending a competitive sealed proposal method, asking you, do you want to rank, or would you like us at administration to rank, and that you approve the criteria to be used for ranking the proposals. It's a third page in.
I'll make the motion to go ahead and go with competitive sealed proposals for staff to rank them, administration, and to approve the points as presented.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Coach Cuellar. Correct, Coach Cuellar?
He's on mute.
That is correct.
Okay. We have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Coach Cuellar, to approve competitive sealed proposals, administration to rank the proposals, and to approve the criteria and points for ranking the proposals. Any discussion?
How soon will the work be done? Is it ready by August, by September?
No, sir. It's going to take a little time, sir. We've got a schedule that we provided on the agenda, but it's going to take a little time, Dr. Rivera.
It's safe for the kids?
At this time, yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir.
Can the budget absorb that? It's going to cost us around $300,000.
Mr. Kennedy, can you repeat the question?
I said, can the budget absorb that, the expense?
Yes, it can. We will have to do a budget amendment for that, though.
Okay.
But it'll come from facilities? Andres?
Yes.
Okay. So I have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Coach Cuellar. All in favor, please say aye. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Let's move along to item K. Discussion of possible action for the board to consider approval of an engineering firm to generate the plans and specifications, as well as provide construction administration services for the A.N. Tony Rico Elementary School Foundation remediation project. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, for the item just previously approved, we do need the services of a professional engineer as required by law for the project. We are recommending that you consider the approval to hire Robert Kitzner, Inc., consulting engineering firm, to generate the plans and specifications and provide construction administration services for the A.N. Tony Rico Elementary School Foundation remediation project. Our experience with Robert Kistner has been positive, and so that's our recommendation for engineering services for the foundation project.
Move to approve.
A second.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera, a second by Coach Cuellar,
Yes, sir.
correct?
That's correct.
To approve Rebda Kistner Incorporated, consultant engineer firm, to generate the plans and specifications and provide construction administration services for the A. Antonio Rico Foundation remediation project. Any discussion? Okay, so let's vote. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Mr. Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item L, discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval of the annual review of the district's investment policy. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, Board Policy Section CDA Legal requires the board to review the investment policy and strategies not less than annually. Administration, Mr. Sanchez and his team have reviewed the policy and has determined that there have been no changes for this year. The board must also adopt a written instrument stating that it has reviewed the investment policy. Mr. Sanchez will highlight what's in policy and the current investments in Weslaco ISD. Mr. Sanchez.
Yes. Mr. Nieto and members of the board, Dr. Canales, our board policy emphasizes that we need to have safety and investment management for the money that we have for the district. They want us to maintain liquidity and maturity, that not to go too long at the investment, like no more than a year. And also diversity, we can invest on different types of investment items. At the current time, all the investments that we have, is more in investment pools, because we have the best rates. And you can see at the bottom of the first page, the rate of the pool right now, for the first one, the first public investment, the second bullet, is at 0.60%. The second one is at 0.24, and the third one 0.21. Those same investments, if you continue the sentence in the next line, last year they were at 2.43, the first one. The second one was at 2.34, and the other one 2.35. Those rates, lower they are right now, 25% of what they were at the beginning of the year. They are much higher than CDs. Look, below there, we mentioned in the treasury bills, the rate that they have. Then on the second page, we talk about CDs. We checked with a couple of banks, the CD rate, and they have a 15% for the rate, or 0.35, 0.20. For pools, pay much higher. We can withdraw money within 1 day's notice. On the CD, you take the money of 90 days, you have to wait the 90 days or you don't get the money. And you might even get a penalty if you withdraw it. So based on that, we recommend that we continue investing our money with the investment pool the way we have it. The law allows the requires that the board designate investment officers, which you have. The 3 current officers is me, Mr. Jesse Fonseca, Director of Payroll and Business Operations, and Mrs. Sylvia Esquivel, the Compliance Auditor, and we all get training. Within 2 years, we have to get our hours of training, and we're up to date with the training, so we're there. Do you all have any questions?
And there's where are these down from the previous year? All four or lower?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. The first one, the first public, last year used to be at 2.43%. Now we are at 0.60. I mentioned during the workshop that we were budgeting 23% on the interest rate. And the CDs are much less than that. See, the treasury bill at the last bullet is 0.16%. The treasury, which those are always low on the interest rate. Then on the next page, talk about the interest rate Church National Bank, the depository bank, and they were telling us that we give us 0.15%, which is 1/4 of the full giver, the rate. And the next one, Place Capital Bank, will give us 0.20% and 0.35%. So the CDs pay half or 1/3 of the interest rate we will make at the pools. And we tie our money for at least 90 days to a year. And on the pools, they pay more, At least the first public has the highest, the largest amount we have invested is at the first public, the one with the highest rates, the higher rate, yes. And our money we can withdraw within the day. Whenever we have payroll, for example, we need to pay several million. We call the day before, we get the money right away.
And you studied this pretty carefully?
Well, we looked at it, and it hasn't really changed much from prior times. No, we keep track of the interest rates.
Well, they look low to me, Andres.
No, yes, they're very low. That's the way the economic condition has us right now. They're very low. And if we were to invest in something that might be higher, those have a lot more risk. In commercial paper, some of those investments have more risk. That's something that we can look at as possibility, but right now, investor pools is better. And like I said, these investments are always on a day-to-day basis. If something comes up better, we figure out that there's something better out there, we can bring it to the board for consideration and approval. And at that time, we can make a different type of investment. But keeping the money in the pools gives us a good rate right now. The money we can take care of whenever we want. To invest it somewhere else if needed.
I'll move to approve reluctantly, but make sure you keep on checking often.
Yes, sir.
To see what the rates are.
Yes, we do. We do check.
So I have a motion by Dr. Rivera. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a second by Mr. Kennedy to approve the annual review of the district's investment policy as presented. Any discussion? All right, so let's take it for a vote. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
I'm not a doctor.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Mr. Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion passes. Item M. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval to change the district's fiscal year cycle from September 1st through August 31st to July 1st through June 30th, beginning with the fiscal year 2021-2022. Dr. Canales. You muted, Dr. Canales.
Oh, no, I apologize for that. So Board of Trustees Administration recommends that you approve changing the fiscal year cycle from September 1st through August 31st to July 1st through June 30th, effective with the fiscal year 2021-2022. As it's been mentioned, that during the June 8th, 2020 regular board meeting, and again during the workshop, if during the transition year, fiscal year 2020-2021, administration determines after further evaluation that it would not be in the best interest of the district to change its fiscal year end date, we will inform you via board workshop and public meeting. If after the discussion, the board approves not to change the fiscal year, we just have to file another FIN 003 form with the Texas Education Agency to notify them that we will not be moving forward with it. So at this point, we are recommending, we will study it, and we have an out if it doesn't work for us based upon your approval. Mr. Sanchez is here to answer any of the questions you may have about it.
Andres, why do you need this like right now? Could it wait a month or 2 months until we know more about what the COVID-19 effect?
Well, TA initially wanted submittals on this by June 30, before the year that it changes. And we were trying to put it in the June 29 meeting to have it. If you like to wait, we can wait another month or two. I don't know that we'll get much different information from the economy right now on other effects. Let's say, like Dr. Canales said, it can be approved to proceed to the planning period next year, and we can evaluate more than that time, like you said, with the conditions that we have right now. If during that year we figured out that it's better not to go with it, we bring it up to the board, discuss it, why not? And then you can approve not to continue with it after all. We will let TA know that we're not changing after all.
So we can't change it. If it's approved tonight, we can't change it in a month or 2 months?
Yeah, we can go back and reverse it, yes, sir.
Okay. Oh, then I'll make the motion then to approve as presented.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, sir.
Okay. To approve the districts to change its fiscal year cycle from September 1st through August 31st to July 1st through June 30th, effective with the fiscal year 2021-2022. Any other discussion?
I'm going to vote in favor of this item, but what I'd like to see is added on as like a discussion item in maybe a couple of months, just so you can bring it up and see how it's doing. You can answer, ask any questions that we have.
Sure.
Yeah.
Any other discussion? All right, we'll call the vote. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion passes. We continue to item N. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval to set up a meeting date for a public hearing on the proposed budget and proposed tax rate for the fiscal year 2020-2021. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, all districts must follow the notice and hearing requirements of the Education Code, Section 44004, for adopting a budget and tax rate. The team has looked at this, and we are recommending to set a meeting date for a public hearing of the proposed budget and tax rate for fiscal year 2020-2021 on Monday, August 24th, 2020 at 5:30 p.m.
Is this the date of the regular August board meeting?
No, sir. This is 2 weeks afterwards.
And you have to get it approved by August 31st?
Yes, before.
I'll make the motion to approve the public hearing scheduled on August 24th.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion by Dr. Rivera, second by Mr. Gonzalez, to set a meeting for public hearing on the proposed budget tax rate for fiscal year 2020-2021 for Monday, August 24th, 2020 at 5:30 p.m. Any discussion? Call for the vote. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion passes. All right, let's go to item O. Discussion and possible action for the board to consider approval to review and extend the contract for legal counsel services or approve to release a request for qualifications for legal counsel services. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, our current legal counsel firm of Jones, Galligan, Key, and Lozano has been providing services to the district since 2014. The current contract expires on October 2020. If extended, the new agreement would start on October 1st, 2020 and would continue through September 3rd, 2022. So we are recommending, administration is recommending that you consider the approval to renew and extend the current contract for legal counsel services or approve to release a request for qualifications for legal counsel.
I'll make a motion to approve administration's to renew with Jones, Galligan, King, and Lozano.
Okay.
I second that motion.
We have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez and a second by Mr. Lopez to approve the renewal and extend the current contract for legal counsel services. Any discussion?
Is that all there is on the recommendation? I know that our fees are going up everywhere. Is there any accommodations for increase in rates in pay to our account? I mean, we've been in very good hands with our attorneys.
Correct.
Yes, there is an increase. It's up to, oh, I know I had it. Attorneys,
$225
an hour, $225 an hour.
Yes.
And
It's $30 per hour increase.
I'm sorry. What was it?
$30 per hour increase.
Well, and I hope I'm not crossing the line in asking that, but I totally agree with that. I mean, it's Mr. Perez has been a product, first of all, a product of Weslaco ISD and from Weslaco, So I totally agree with renewing and extending his contract.
All right, any other discussion?
I was his principal in high school, so he's learned well.
All right, so we have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Lopez, to approve the renewal and extend the current contract for legal counsel services to Jones, Galligan, and Lozano. Key and Lozano. All in favor, please say aye when I call your name. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Dr. Rivera?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Mr. Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And, my behalf and behalf of the firm, we certainly appreciate the confidence that the board has entrusted us with, and to work with you and to work with the administration, and look forward to working with you for the time to come.
Thank you, Ivan. Appreciate all your hard work. All right, it is item 11, closed meeting to discuss personal matters. Number 1, employment of personnel, resignations. Number 2. Number 3, deliberation regarding the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee. Item B, deliberation regarding acquisition of real property. Item C, consultation with attorney regarding A, pending or contemplated litigation. B, a settlement offer. C, a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the Weslaco ISD under the Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Texas Government Code 551.071. It is 8:18, and we will be going into closed session. All right. We recommend back in the open meeting, it is 8:50. Item 8, possible action if necessary on items discussed on closed meeting. Item 1, discussion of possible action on new employment. Dr. Canales.
Board of Trustees, I'm recommending that you approve the recommendation of contracts for certified professional personnel as discussed in closed session.
I move to approve the administration's recommendation on the new contracts.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Kennedy and a second by Dr. Jaime, correct?
Yes, sir.
To approve the employment of personnel as discussed in the executive session. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Did Dr. Rivera log on after all? Not yet, okay. Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 2, discussion on possible action on resignations. Dr. Canales?
Board of Trustees, I recommend that you approve the resignations, retirements of certified professional personnel as discussed in closed session.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Gonzalez and a second by Dr. Jaime
Yes, sir.
to approve resignations and retirements as discussed in executive session. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Mr. Kennedy?
Aye.
Dr. Jaime?
Aye.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Aye.
Mr. Lopez?
Aye.
Coach Cuellar?
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 3, discussion and possible action on acquisition of real property. Dr. Canales?
This is a no action item.
No action item. All right.
You ready, Andrew?
German?
He's on mute.
You're muted. You're muted. Andrew.
So moved. Adjournment.
It's 8:53. Thank you all for this meeting again, and stay safe, stay healthy.